You're at a party or maybe a work event. You're holding a drink, feeling a little nervous. A friendly person walks up to you, smiles, and asks the simple question, "So, what do you do?"
And your mind goes completely blank. All the English words you know suddenly disappear. You say something simple like, "I am engineer," or "I work company," and the conversation feels stuck.
That feeling is incredibly common, but it doesn't have to be your reality. By the end of this episode, you will know exactly how to talk about your job in English, naturally, confidently, and without freezing.
Welcome to the Real English Lab. Let's begin. The most common and useful way to start is by naming your industry or field. For example, shadow, you could say, "I work in education."
Exactly. This phrase, "I work in," is important because it's general. It gives the listener a big picture of what you do without needing complex words.
Let's say it slowly. "I work in."
I work in,
Now you try.
for example, you could say, "I work in technology," or "I work in healthcare."
This phrase is perfect for almost any situation, with new friends, at work, or in a formal interview.
Okay, after you say your industry, people will want to know more. What do you do in that industry? A great phrase is, "I'm responsible for." For example, "I'm responsible for creating our lesson plans."
This is such a professional and clear way to describe your main duties. It shows you have important tasks. If this is your first time with us, welcome. Hit subscribe so you never miss a new episode. Yeah.
I'm responsible for.
Repeat after me. I'm responsible for.
Now you try.
A great example is, "I'm responsible for managing the sales team."
This phrase is a bit more formal. It's excellent for networking events or job interviews.
A similar, slightly more conversational phrase is, "My role involves." I could say my role involves helping our listeners improve their English. It sounds a little softer than responsible for.
It's useful because it lets you talk about several different tasks together.
Listen carefully to the sound. My role involves.
My role involves.
Your turn.
For example, my role involves talking to customers and solving their problems.
This sounds great in a professional setting, but it's also friendly enough to use with new colleagues. Stay with us. The next phrase is the one most learners never learn, and it is the most useful one.
Okay, this next one is fantastic. When you have a specific skill or area of expertise, you can say, "I specialize in." It makes you sound like an expert.
It really does. It's so much more powerful than saying, "I'm good at." This phrase shows true confidence in your professional skills.
I specialize in.
Repeat after me. I specialize in.
Now you try.
You could say, "I work in marketing, and I specialize in social media."
This is perfect for job interviews and professional networking. It shows your specific value.
Sometimes your job is about a specific project right now. In that case, you can say, "I'm currently working on." For instance, "I'm currently working on a new design for our website."
This phrase is great because it opens a door for more conversation. The other person can easily ask, "Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about that project."
Let's practice the pronunciation. "I'm currently working on."
I'm currently working on.
Your turn.
A perfect example is, I'm currently working on a report about our quarterly sales.
You'd say this with colleagues or your manager to give a status update, and it's also great for networking.
Now, what if you work with a group of people? Saying, "I'm part of a team that" is a wonderful way to describe your work. It shows you are collaborative.
Yes, and it takes the pressure off you. You're not saying, "I do everything." You're explaining how your work connects to a bigger goal. For example, "I'm part of a team that develops new software."
Let's break it down. I'm part of a team that.
Repeat after me. "I'm part of a team that."
Now you try.
You could say, "I'm part of a team that organizes events for the company."
This is excellent for any work conversation. It shows you understand teamwork.
All right, let's put this into practice. We are going to listen to a full, realistic conversation. Imagine Shadow and I are at a small industry event.
Okay, so we're talking to a new person named Leo. He turns to us and asks, "So, what do you two do?"
I'll answer first. That's a great question, Leo. I work in digital media. I'm part of a team that creates educational content for English learners.
Notice how Ginger used two phrases together, I work in and I'm part of a team that. This is very natural. Now it's my turn to answer Leo. I say, and I work on marketing. I'm responsible for our social media.
That was a good answer, Shadow. And here is a small, warm correction that can make it even better. You said, I work on marketing. That is understandable, but it is a little more natural to say, I work in marketing. We use in for a field or industry.
Ah, thank you, Ginger. That's a great point. It's a small difference, but it matters. Let me try again. I work in marketing.
Perfect. Making small mistakes like this is a normal part of learning. The goal is to learn and improve, not to be perfect immediately.
I work in marketing.
Repeat after me, I work in marketing.
Now you try.
An alternative way to say this is simply, I'm in marketing. It's a little more casual. The next part of this conversation is where most learners lose confidence. Pay close attention.
So Leo is interested. He looks at me and asks a follow-up question. Marketing, that's interesting. So what does a typical day look like for you?
This is the moment. The conversation goes deeper. You need more than one sentence. This is where a phrase like, a big part of my role is, might become so valuable.
I could answer Leo like this. Well, a big part of my role is planning our content calendar. My day-to-day also involves analyzing our performance on different platforms and engaging with our community.
That's a fantastic, detailed answer. It gives a clear picture of what you do. Let's focus on that first part. Listen to it slowly. A big part of my role is.
A big part of my role is.
Your turn.
A good alternative is mostly I focus on. For example, mostly I focus on planning the content calendar. It's clear and direct.
Now the conversation is really flowing. Leo then turns to me and says, and Ginger, you create the content. What does that process look like?
This is another deeper question. Ginger needs to explain a process.
So I'd respond, it all starts with research. I look for topics that are genuinely helpful for our learners. From there, I structure the episode, write the script, and then we record. I specialize in making complex topics easy to understand.
Did you hear that? Ginger finished with our expert phrase, I specialize in. It's a very strong and confident way to end his discussion.
So the conversation started simply, went deeper with follow-up questions, and we answered confidently using the phrases we practiced. That's the goal.
Okay, but real life is not always so perfect. Sometimes we face unexpected situations. Let's talk about how to handle those.
Definitely. Here's scenario 1. Someone asks about your job, but you don't like your job. You want to be honest, but also professional.
This is a very real situation. You can't say, I hate my job, but you also don't want to lie. This next situation is the one nobody prepares for, and it happens all the time.
Here is the perfect phrase. It's positive, professional, and forward-looking. You say, I'm gaining valuable experience in my current role, and I'm also starting to explore new opportunities.
I'm gaining valuable experience.
Repeat after me. I'm gaining valuable experience.
Now you try.
A slightly different version is, my current job has taught me a lot, and I'm excited to see what's next in my career. It has the same positive, professional feeling.
All right, problem number 2. Your job title is very technical or confusing. It doesn't translate well into English, and when you say it, people just look confused.
Yes, for example, if your title is Level 3 Subsystems Integration Analyst, nobody knows what that means in a casual conversation. The key is to simplify.
My title is a bit technical. In simple terms, I help.
For that long title, you could say, my title is a bit technical. In simple terms, I help different software programs talk to each other. Ah, simple. Everyone understands that.
In simple terms, I help.
Repeat after me. In simple terms, I help.
Your term.
A great alternative is, basically, my job is to... It does the same thing. It signals that you are about to simplify a complex idea.
Okay, the last problem. This one is personal for many people. It's that feeling when someone asks what you do, but you are currently unemployed. You're between jobs.
It can feel so uncomfortable, as if your value is connected only to your job title, but your job is what you do, not who you are. Having a confident answer ready for this moment is so important for your own self-respect.
I'm currently between roles and actively looking for a position in your field.
Let's listen to that phrase again. It has such a great rhythm. I'm currently between roles.
I'm currently between roles.
Now you try.
An excellent alternative if you are studying or learning new skills is, I'm taking some time to focus on professional development while I explore my next career move.
Both of those options are so strong. They show that you are in control of your career journey, which is the most important thing.
Okay, that was a lot of fantastic information. Let's do a fast-paced recap of the 5 most important phrases from today's episode.
When I work in, use this for your industry. I work in finance.
I'm responsible for. Use this for your main duties. I'm responsible for training new employees.
3, I specialize in, use this for your expert skill. I specialize in data analysis.
In simple terms, use this to explain a complex job. In simple terms, I build websites.
And 5, I'm currently between roles. Use this for when you are looking for a new job.
Write one sentence in the comments describing your job in English. We read every single one.
Keep practicing, keep growing. We'll see you in the next episode.